The girl was a colorblind person who could not even tell red from green. Yet that day the neighbor suddenly spread a vicious rumor claiming the girl drove a car and hit her father. All because the girl had helped the old man stand up not long ago. And the neighbor also learned that the girl had inherited $1 million fortune. Consumed by deep jealousy, the neighbor wanted to take the money for herself. So she started making up lies hoping to extort a large sum from the girl. Little did she know the girl had severe red-green colorblindness and did not even have a license. Seeing that the girl refused to admit anything, the man boldly pulled out the license plate of the car that supposedly hit his father and demanded the girl confess. When the girl saw it really was her own plate, she became confused. Right then the woman beside them suddenly dropped to her knees acting pitiful. She cried that her father-in-law, who was unconscious and relying on a ventilator, urgently needed $300,000 for surgery. Before the girl could even react, the woman intentionally fell to the ground again, trying to manipulate public opinion to her advantage, forcing the girl to hand over the $300,000 as a settlement. The man even threatened her publicly, saying that if she could not pay they would call the police and send her to jail. Facing the relentless pressure from the crowd, the girl calmly asked the bystanders to turn on a live stream. Then she pulled out her medical diagnosis right in front of everyone, revealing the truth about her severe red-green colorblind condition. She furiously stated that someone like her could never drive a car, but the man not only denied everything, he even lied, saying the girl forged her documents to fool people. He mocked that someone wealthy enough to own a Porsche would never be without a driver license. He also accused her, saying that without a valid license she was committing illegal driving. The watching crowd was quickly led astray. Some even mocked her, claiming she crashed because she could not tell red lights from green. Feeling helpless, the girl asked her assistant to pull up the home surveillance from the past few days to prove her innocence, but she was told the cameras had been damaged during a heavy snowstorm. Not believing such a coincidence, the girl decided to call the police directly, letting law enforcement investigate the truth and clear her name. At that moment the man panicked and snatched her phone. He insisted that checking her garage for traces of blood would prove everything. Yet when everyone arrived at the garage, they shockingly found real bloodstains. The crowd immediately began pointing fingers at her. The man then started another wave of rumors, claiming the girl had an unusual relationship with his father. The girl was speechless after enduring so many absurd accusations. She thought there was no way someone like her with a comfortable life would like a 70-year-old man. But right then the daughter-in-law pulled out so-called evidence showing the girl seducing the old man. The woman tried to explain helplessly that she was only helping him cross the street, which had no real proof of anything. The girl instantly called her driver to prove her car had never left the garage, but the crowd still refused to believe her. They insisted she and the driver were working together. Not wanting to waste more time, the girl decided to collect the blood and send it for testing to see whether it truly belonged to the elderly man. This time the man panicked even more and tried to stop her. The girl realized they had planted evidence to frame her, so she demanded they apologize publicly in front of the live stream audience, and said they could pretend this whole incident never happened. Otherwise she would pursue full legal responsibility. Unexpectedly the man changed his tone and agreed, saying that if the hospital test confirmed it was his father's blood, then the girl must cover all medical expenses totaling $300,000. The girl accepted. However, just as she arrived at the hospital, she ran into a swarm of reporters pointing at her. Fortunately, the test results came out at that moment, but shockingly the blood was indeed a match. Now it was the girl's turn to be confused. Seeing that the result favored them, the crowd demanded she pay. Some even pushed further, telling her to support the old man for the rest of his life. The girl had never seen such shameless people. She could not understand how helping a lonely elderly man could drag her into such a disgusting situation. She immediately asked them to show real evidence, otherwise she would sue them for destroying her reputation. At that moment the woman actually pulled out intimate photos of the two. Just as the girl stood there stunned, the woman began spreading wild rumors everywhere. Even the media began loudly reporting that the girl adored 70-year-old men. The man made it worse by claiming the old man had her photo as his phone wallpaper, while the crowd kept pointing at her, threatening that if she did not pay she would be thrown in jail. The girl suddenly said one sentence that made everyone fall completely silent.